All right, welcome back to Jammin' Sports, everybody, as we're getting set for the second game of 5 for you here today. We have the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers up next. Evil Dead got the last game right. He's now 53 games over 500. He's at 140 and 87 on the season. Jack's got the last game wrong. He's 26 and 26 on the season. We'll find out who they want in this one. I have a feeling I know who they're going to pick in this one. All right, this game has absolutely no playoff bearing whatsoever. I need to correct something here, as Gracie has brought me some milk. Thank you very much. Miami is not 13-3. They are 13-2. Let me correct that. Let me correct my title card here. Make sure it's right. Doing that right now. Here we go. There, I just corrected it. Should change on your screen. Jax has taken Miami. I think Evil Dead probably will too. All right. The Dolphins have already clinched the AFC East. They've already clinched home field advantage in the playoffs. So this game is basically meaningless. Win or lose, nothing changes. Carolina's at 4-11, and they are out of the playoffs. So it's just finishing up the schedule. So we'll see what happens here. Hold on one second. All right. We have 3 more games after this. We'll have the Broncos and the Bucks. We'll have the Bengals and the Colts. And we'll have the Lions and the Vikings after this. All right. Here we go. Let's head out to... Let me fix this. Let me head out to Charlotte, North Carolina for this one. Dolphins, Panthers here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome into Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the Dolphins and the Panthers. Welcome into another NFL matchup here at Jammin' Sports, the season finale for Carolina. Miami has won the AFC East already and home field advantage. Evil Dead taking the Dolphins as well. I figured as much. I'll watch Carolina upset them. That'd be funny. Miami can tie their best regular season ever with a win today. They went 14-2 back in Sim Season 1. From the 5-yard line, on the return, Nate Moore over the 25, and Moore brings it out to the 27-yard line. And that's where the Dolphins will have it, 1st and 10. Led by Austin Ducre, the 10th-year quarterback out of LSU. They can tie a season best with 14 wins. There are only 2 losses, we've been saying this all season, to the Jets. Miami has won 9 in a row coming into this one, the longest streak of the season. Miami has tied the longest streak ever. The Vikings back in Sim Season 11. 9 wins. Miami can set a new regular season record with a win today. 1st and 10. Nayor in motion. Ducre fakes the handoff. Ducre throws deep, wasting no time. Incomplete. Nayor overthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10. I think he's testing the Panthers secondary. Miami heavily favored in this one, but this game is really meaningless. Nothing changes if the Dolphins were to lose. Ducre in the shotgun, 2nd and 10. They hand off to Kenny Flowers, and the rookie out of Wake Forest down the sideline. Flowers down to the 49-yard line. A gain of 22 yards. Kenny Flowers. 1st down, Miami. Tackle made by number 20. That's Eric O'Neal, the 8th-year safety out of Colorado State. 1st and 10 Dolphins from their own 49, 4 wide. Ducre under center. Ducre to Austin, and A.J. Austin to the 47-yard line, a gain of 5. as they're into Panther territory. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5. A.J. Austin in his 3rd year out of Hawaii. Miami at 13-2 has the best record in the league. 2nd and 5 from the 47. Ducre to Austin again. Picks up the first down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 7. First down, Dolphins. I really get the feeling this one's going to get ugly fast. The Jets blew the Panthers out of the water last week. In the I formation, Ducre under center. Ducre fakes the handoff. Throws deep and caught by Isaiah Nayor down to the 18-yard line. A gain of 22. 2nd-year receiver out of Nebraska. First down, Miami. Tackle made by Dwayne Smith in his 10th year out of Clemson. Dolphins all the way down to the Panther 18-yard line. Opening drive of the ball game. Dolphins come out 4 wide. Ducre under center. Ducre end around to Otto Stowe. That goes nowhere. The Panthers read it beautifully. Dwayne Gates, the 5th-year linebacker out of Arizona, on the tackle. A loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13 for Miami. Back at the Panther 21-yard line. .5:45 and counting. Here in the first quarter. Dolphins, Ducre under center. Stowe in motion. Play action, Ducre. Looking, good protection. He's going to take off. And Ducre slides at the 19. A gain of 2 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Dolphins. At the Carolina 19-yard line. On 3rd and 11, 4 wide, Ducre under center. Stowe in motion. Ducre fakes the handoff, throws downfield, caught, touchdown, Dolphins. Nate Moore, a 19-yard touchdown catch. The 3rd-year receiver out of Texas Tech. And the Dolphins on the opening kickoff march down the field and get a touchdown. And they take a 6-0 lead. Waldo's back just in time as the Dolphins score a touchdown on their opening drive. It was quick. Waldo says, "Let's go, Panthers." Panthers somehow have managed to win 4 games. Dan Bailey for the point after. Kick is up, and it's good. Dolphins lead at 7-0. An 8 plays, 72-yard drive to start the game for Miami. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Week 17 here at Jammin' Sports. Miami has won the AFC East. They have a first-round bye. They will play in the divisional round at home. Against whom? To be determined. There's the kickoff by Bailey. From the 3-yard line on the return. This is number 82. This is John Cunningham out to the 28-yard line. And that's where Carolina will take over. Their quarterback is Luke George, the rookie out of Cal Berkeley. He's on a 4-11 team, but overall, George, he's played well, all things considered, in his rookie year. First and 10 for the Panthers at their own 28. Four receivers set wide. George in the shotgun. First and 10. Quick in motion. George looking. George in trouble. Throws outside and incomplete. That was knocked away at the last second by number 20, A.J. Snow, the safety. in his second year out of Boise State. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Jared Moore, the tight end, was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10 for Carolina. Panthers come out 4 wide. George in the shotgun. Moore in motion, the tight end. George looking. George in trouble, rolls out. And George is going to take off and get the first down out to the 42-yard line. A gain of 14 yards for Luke George. First down, Panthers. Miami up 7-0, 4:33 and counting here in the first quarter. A sunny but cool afternoon here in Charlotte. 41 degrees at kickoff. 1st and 10. George under center. George hands off, and that is Darryl Holt to the 50-yard line, a gain of 8. Darryl Holt in his 10th year out of Maryland. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 50-yard line. Panthers opening drive. They're trying to match Miami's opening drive. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. 2nd and 2 from the 50-yard line. George draws back, throws quickly outside to Cunningham, breaks a tackle, and John Cunningham to the 45, a gain of 5, and that's another Panther first down. Cunningham, the 4th-year receiver out of Oregon. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Dolphin 45-yard line. Panthers come out 4 wide, 3 to the near side. George under center. George, play action. Throws outside to Cunningham, out to the 40. A gain of 5. That's going to bring up 2nd and 5. Hunter Brookings on the tackle. The 10th-year defensive back out of Oklahoma State. We have the Broncos and the Buccaneers after this. 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. George in the shotgun. George hands off to Holt, and Holt to the 38. A gain of 2. Terrell Douglas on the tackle in his 7th year out of Sam Houston. 3rd and 3 for the Panthers at the Dolphin 38-yard line. 2:52 and counting here in the first quarter. 4 wide. George in the gun. George looking, throws, and caught for the first down. Phillip Lee, the rookie tight end out of Southern Miss, good for 5 down to the 33-yard line. First down, Panthers. Well, it's been a nice Carolina drive against a very tough Dolphin defense. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. George under center. George to Holt, and Darryl Holt making his way to the 28-yard line. A gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5. An impressive drive so far by Carolina. It's taking up a lot of time. We're coming up on 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. 4 wide for the Panthers. George under center. George, play action, rolls out, throws near side, and dropped. Phillip Lee couldn't hold on. That'll stop the clock for the moment. 1:52 left in the first. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for Carolina at the Miami 28. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. 3rd and 5. George looking. George in trouble. He's going to take off. And Luke George picks up the first down out to the 14-yard line. A gain of 14. Another Carolina first down. Panthers not looking like a 4-11 team. First down, Panthers at the Dolphin 14-yard line. 1:35 and counting here in the first quarter. Panthers come out 3 to the near side. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Lee in motion. They hand off to Holt. Inside the 10, and Darryl Holt down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 9, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 1. We're coming up on a minute left in the first quarter. Miami scored a touchdown their opening drive. This is still Carolina's opening drive. 2nd and 1 from the 5, 4 wide. George in the gun. George to Holt, and Holt doesn't get there. Tackled by Dean Tarrant. That's going to be a gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd and inches. Tarrant, the 6th-year linebacker out of USC. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Panthers at the Dolphin 4-yard line. Panthers come out 4 wide. George in the shotgun. Down to 30 seconds left in the quarter. George back, throws underneath, and caught by Jared Moore to the 1. A gain of 3 will be 1st and goal. Terrell Douglas on the catch. On the tackle, excuse me. Time enough for one more play. Can they get it off in time? 3 to the far side. 1st and goal from the 1. George in the shotgun. Hands off to Holt. Touchdown, Panthers. A 1-yard touchdown run by Darryl Holt. And the surprising Panthers match Miami's opening drive with a touchdown of their own. And now Chris Jackson, the rookie out of Tennessee, will come on for the extra point, which used to be an adventure for the Panthers before they got Chris Jackson. Rookie out of Tennessee. Kick is up, and it's good. We're tied at 7. 3 seconds left here in the first quarter. Live from Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Dolphins 7, Panthers 7. Miami 13 and 2, Carolina 4 and 11. I thought this one would get out of hand early, but not so far. Nice drive by Carolina. Chris Jackson will kick off, it looks like. Misty's playing Christmas music in the other room. I don't know if you can hear it through my microphone. There's the kick. From the 7-yard line. On the return is Nate Moore. And Moore out to the 29-yard line. At the end of 1, we're tied at 7 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. We go to the second quarter. We're tied at 7 with the Dolphins and Panthers. A game that has absolutely no bearing on the playoffs whatsoever. Miami's in. They can't do any better. And the Panthers are out, and they can't get in. Ducre under center, 1st and 10. Throws and caught by Stowe. 5 yards out to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. Otto Stowe in his 11th year out of BYU. Dolphins come out. Ducre in the shotgun on 2nd and 5. Stowe in motion. The handoff to Stowe around the outside, and Otto Stowe picks up the 1st down on the end around. A gain of 7. Out to the 41-yard line. 1st down, Dolphins. Clock is moving. 7:15 and counting here in the first half. Miami trying to retake the lead. Ducre in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Moore in motion. Ducre looking. Ducre in trouble. He gets sacked. Back at the 28-yard line, a loss of 14 yards. Sack made by Donovan Elliott, the rookie out of Cal Berkeley. A loss of 14 yards. Tell you what, the Panthers have come to play today. Panthers not intimidated by Miami whatsoever. Second and 24 at the 28-yard line. 4 wide to the far side for the Dolphins. Ducre in the shotgun. Empty backfield. Ducre drops back, throws, and he felt the pressure. Incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah Nayor. He threw it a bit low. Now it's 3rd and 24 for Miami. The Panthers, they're pressuring DeCray, and when you do that, he gets happy feet. You can't give him time. 3rd and 24 at the 28-yard line. DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray looking. Throws deep and overthrows Stowe. That would have been 6. Just over his fingers. It'll be 4th and 24. The Dolphins will have to punt. That would have been a touchdown. Had he hit him in stride. John Ryan, in his 18th year out of Tennessee, back to punt. Gets the punt away. Fair caught at the 26-yard line by John Cunningham. We're still tied at 7. And now Carolina with a chance to take the lead. If the Panthers were to win this game, it'd be a stunning upset. It'd mean nothing for Miami. They have nothing to play for. They've already wrapped up everything they can wrap up. First and 10 for the Panthers at their own 26. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. George looking. George throws underneath. Caught by Moore, and Jared Moore out to the 36-yard line. A gain of 10. And that'll be a Carolina first down. Well, Miami, if you're going to lay an egg, now's the time to do it before the playoffs start. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. 4 wide. George under center. George looking. George in trouble, and he gets sacked back at the 27-yard line. A loss of 9. Making the sack, Brad Lincoln, the 4th-year linebacker out of Michigan. Lincoln spent 3 years with the Colts, now in his first season with Miami. Dolphins picked him up as a free agent during the offseason. It'll be 2nd and 19 for the Panthers, back at their own 27-yard line. 5:48 left in the half. We're still tied at 7. Lowest scoring game, but both teams had long drives for their opening touchdowns. 4 wide, George in the shotgun, 2nd and 19. George looking, throws near side, and caught by Jared Moore, but quickly tackled for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 19. Coming up to make the tackle was Hunter Brookings in his 10th year out of Oklahoma State. 3rd and 19 for the Panthers now. At their own 27-yard line. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. George looking. Looking. Gets sacked again back at the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of 8 more yards. Sack made by Terrell Lindsey, the 5th-year defensive tackle out of Georgia. And the Dolphin defense steps up. It'd be 4th and 27 for the Panthers back at the 19-yard line. Derek White will come in to punt, 10th-year punter out of Notre Dame. The much-traveled Derek White. He's playing for his 6th team. Kick is away. From the 30-yard line, it's Moore. And Moore brings it back out to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. DeCray comes back out to lead the offense. Last week against the Raiders, DeCray really didn't have to do much. He only had 1 touchdown, but the Dolphins had over 250 yards on the ground against the Raiders. First and 10. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray looking. DeCray throws and caught by Otto Stowe out to the 44-yard line. That'd be a gain of 12. First down, Dolphins. 4:20 left in the half. Dolphins trying to take the lead before halftime. Carolina does get the second half kickoff. 1st and 10, DeCray in the shotgun. Nayor in motion. Hands off to Flowers. And Kenny Flowers picks up a yard to the 45. The rookie out of Wake Forest. It'll be 2nd and 9. 3:50 left to play here in the first half. Dolphins come out 3 to the near side. DeCray in the shotgun. Austin in motion. DeCray looking. DeCray throws near side and incomplete. That was broken up by Russ Snow, the safety, in his 3rd year out of Iowa. 3rd and 9 for Miami at their own 45-yard line. On 3rd down, DeCray in the shotgun. Helm in motion, the tight end. DeCray in trouble. DeCray gets flushed out of the pocket. He gets sacked back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 9. Donovan Elliott on the sack again, the rookie out of California. And the Panther defense playing well against the Dolphins. It'll be 4th down. Miami's going to have to punt. And now Carolina's going to have a chance to score before halftime. Miami has not lost to a team not called the Jets all season. They have won 9 in a row coming into this one. John Ryan back to punt. Ryan gets the punt away. From the 20-yard line on the return is John Cunningham out to the 23. 2:59 left in the half. We're still tied at 7. 1st and 10 Panthers at their own 23. We have the Broncos and the Buccaneers after this. We'll head down to Tampa, Florida for that one. A meaningless game for the Broncos, but not for the Bucs. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. George hands off to Flowers. No, not Flowers, but that's Holt. Look at the wrong roster. A gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. You can't see me. Jimmy Jam with Evil Dead, Jax and Waldo. 2nd and 9 in the I formation. George under center. George, they pitch it to Holt. Turns upfield and gets to the 24-yard line. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 9. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning here in the first half. We're still tied at 7. 13 and 2 Dolphins, the 4 and 11 Panthers. 3rd and 9, 4 wide. George in the shotgun. In motion is Franklin. George looking. George in trouble, and he's going to get sacked back at the 15-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 10-yard loss as Terrell Lindsay makes the tackle there for Miami. Or excuse me, Terry Douglas, number 7 in his number 91, his 7th year out of Sam Houston. I'll get it right. 2-minute warning here at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina, Week 17. Here at Jammin' Sports. We've got a good crowd here on this Saturday. The second game of 5. Philadelphia beat Dallas 13-10 before this one. Cowboys are out of the playoffs. Back to punt, Derek White. And this will be fielded and fair caught at the 35-yard line by Nate Moore. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. 1:53 left to play in the half. Still tied at 7. Well, let's see if the Dolphins can score before halftime. Both teams scored touchdowns on their opening drives, but that's the only scoring so far. Miami comes out 4 wide. DeCray throws outside and incomplete. Looking for Otto Stowe. Threw it a bit too far. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. $150 left in the half. 4 wide, 3 to the far side. DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray draws back. Throws deep, a high arcing pass. And it's still overthrown. looking for Kenny Flowers down the sideline, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line. All of a sudden, neither offense can do anything. Everybody in tight for the Dolphins. DeCray under center. DeCray looking, throws near side, and caught by Gunnar Helm along the sideline. Good for 7. Out to the 43-yard line, but it's going to be short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 3. 1:40 left in the half. Miami will punt. John Ryan into punt. I thought this was going to be a blowout, but not so far. Ryan gets the punt away. It'll be fair caught at the 15-yard line by John Cunningham. 1:35 left in the half. And now the Panthers take over at their own 15, tied at 7. Carolina has nothing to lose in this one. They're 4 and 11. They're not going anywhere. Can the Panthers score before halftime? They do get the second half kickoff. 4 wide. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. George draws back. It's a blitz. They get it out to Holt. And Holt is tackled for a 2-yard loss. Hunter Brookings came up, made the tackle. The 10th-year defensive back out of Oklahoma State. And one of the offensive linemen got shaken up for the Panthers. That's Antonio Vincent, the left guard. 2nd and 12 for Carolina. Back at their own 14. 1:30 left in the half. We're still tied at 7. On 2nd and 12 from the 14-yard line. George in the shotgun. George looking. George is in trouble and he gets sacked back at the 9. A loss of 5. And making the tackle, number 52, Jesse Jones, the 9th-year linebacker out of Mississippi State. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 16 for the Panthers back at the 9-yard line. I wonder what the Carolina Panthers' total offense is right now. 3rd and 16 from the 9. George in the gun. Hands off to Holt. And Holt makes his way to the 14. A gain of 5. Bateman on the tackle. Chris Bateman, the rookie safety out of Maryland. It'll be 4th and 11. The Panthers will punt. Miami took a timeout. They want a chance to score before halftime. Back to punt. Derek White from his goal line gets the punt away. Fair caught at the 38 by Moore, and now Miami with 1:18 left and 1 timeout. Let's see if they can muster anything on offense. All of a sudden, neither offense can move the ball. Dolphins will start from their own 38. They have 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. 3 wide to the far side. DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray looking, throws across the middle, and caught by Otto Stowe out to the 48, a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and inches. Clock is moving. 1:06 and counting. Dolphins at their own 48-yard line. 4 wide, DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray drops back. DeCray in trouble now and has to throw it away. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Panthers brought the pressure. That's how you stop DeCray. You got to put some pressure. That's his weakness. He doesn't stand up to pressure very well. 3rd and inches from the 48-yard line. You give him time, though, he'll pick you apart. On 3rd down, DeCray in the shotgun. Nayor in motion. DeCray back. DeCray throws outside, caught by Gunnar Helm, the tight end, out of bounds at the 46. They pick up the first down. Can be a gain of 6 yards into Panther territory. 43 seconds left to play in the half. Dolphins still have 1 timeout remaining. 3 to the near side. DeCray in the shotgun, 1st and 10. DeCray throws down the middle and caught by Helm to the 40. A gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. They don't take the timeout. They're going to go to the hurry up. 30 seconds left. Four wide for Miami. We're down to 20 seconds. Play action. They pick up the blitz. They throw deep and caught by Nayor. Touchdown, Miami. A 40-yard touchdown catch by Isaiah Nayor. Boy, they picked up the blitz beautifully on that play, allowing him time. That was Kenny Flowers picking up the blitz. And it gave DeCray time to find Nayor. Touchdown, Dolphins. And they go up 13-7 right before halftime. 40 yards. And now Dan Bailey will come on for the extra point. That was a beautiful play. And now Bailey for the point after. Snap, kick is up. And it's good. Miami leads it 14-7. 11 seconds left to play in the half. Here at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Week 17. Here at Jammin' Sports. We're in the final week of the regular season. We have 3 more games for you tonight. Broncos, Bucks are up next. And that'll be followed by Bengals and Colts. And that'll be followed by Lions and Vikings. The next 3 games all have playoff implications of some sort. Dan Bailey will kick off. And that'll be through the end zone, touchback. In Carolina with 11 seconds left, will have it at their own 30-yard line. 11 seconds left in the half. Philadelphia beat Dallas in the game before this. That eliminates the Cowboys from the playoffs. Keeps the Rams alive for now. George under center, 1st and 10. George hands off to Holt. And Darryl Holt back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Panthers take a timeout. Six seconds left in the half. What does Carolina do here? They know they get the ball first in the second half. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. George in the shotgun. They might throw a Hail Mary here on 2nd and 10. George back. George looking. He's waiting for them to get deep. And now he's going to chuck it deep into a crowd. And it's caught at the 14-yard line by J.T. Franklin, but we go to halftime. Halftime score, Miami 14, Carolina 7, here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. We go to the second half. The Dolphins lead the Panthers 14-7. Panthers will get the second half kickoff. It'll be fielded at the 4-yard line, brought back by John. No, that's not Cunningham. That's the other one, number 80. That's Bruce Hammond out to the 30-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will take over, down by 7. Darryl Holt, some first half highlights. Well, no highlights. I guess they lost the reel somewhere. 1st and 10, Carolina from the 30. Evil Dead and Jax both took Miami in this one. So far, so good. Panthers, though, are playing well. I'm surprised they're not getting blown out by the Dolphins. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. George in the shotgun. Quick in motion. George looking. George rolls out, and he gets sacked again, but they've sacked him a lot. 5 sacks. Stephon Kilgore, in his 9th year out of Auburn, a loss of 9, back to the 21-yard line. The Dolphins have sacked him 5 times now in this game. That'll bring up 2nd and 19 for the Panthers at their own 21-yard line. 3 more games tonight. We'll have 4 for you tomorrow, starting at 6 Eastern. And then we'll have 3 on Monday, starting at 8 Eastern. And that will wrap up the regular season. We'll start the playoffs on Wednesday with the wild card playoffs. 2nd and 19 from the 21-yard line. George in the shotgun. Holt in motion. George looking. George takes off. And George gets taken down at the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 11. The Super Bowl will be on Thursday, Christmas Day, at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. 3rd and 11 from the 29-yard line. George looking. George throws down the middle and caught. Panthers get the first down. Jared Moore, the 2nd-year tight end out of Notre Dame, out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 22 yards and a Carolina first down. Panthers can tie this one up if they get a touchdown. 4 wide, single back, George under center. George hands off to Holt, and Holt not much, 2 yards. No, not even that. No gain. Terrell Lindsay on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the Dolphin 49-yard line. Four wide once again for Carolina. George in the shotgun. 2nd and 10. George to Holt. And Holt tackled by Lindsay at the 48. A gain of just a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9. Terrell Lindsay in his 5th year out of Georgia. 3rd and 9 for Carolina at the Dolphin 48. 4 wide. George in the shotgun. George draws back. Throws downfield wide open, but he dropped it. J.T. Franklin, the former Raider, couldn't hold on. In his 5th year out of SMU. It'll be 4th down for Carolina at the Dolphin 48-yard line. They'll punt. Derek White back to punt. Franklin should have caught that. White gets the punt away, and that's going to be off the side of his foot. That's a 19-yard punt down to the 29-yard line. He shanked it. First down Dolphins. They lead it 14-7 with 5:39 left in the 3rd quarter. Miami will start from their own 29-yard line. Dolphins can make it a 2-score game with any type of score on this drive. 1st and 10, DeCray in the shotgun. Helm in motion, the tight end. DeCray fakes the handoff, throws downfield, caught along the sideline by Otto Stowe. And Stowe 5 or 6 yards out to the 34-yard line to bring up 2nd and 4. .5:20 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. We'll head down to Tampa after this. Broncos and Buccaneers. On 2nd and 4, DeCray under center. DeCray fakes the handoff, throws, and wide open, Isaiah Nayor out to the 44-yard line. 22 yards to Nayor, down to the Carolina 44-yard line. First down Dolphins into Panther territory. 4:50 and counting. DeCray in the shotgun, 1st and 10. DeCray draws back, throws, and caught by Otto Stowe coming across the middle, good for 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 38-yard line. 4.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. We haven't done 5 games in one day in a while. Our record is 7, if you're wondering. 2nd and 4 from the 38. Not going to do 7 today. Nayor in motion. They hand off to Austin. And A.J. Austin to the 35. He's going to end up being about an inch short of the first down. A gain of about 3.5. It'll be 3rd and inches at the Panther 35. Under 4 minutes left now in the third quarter. Everybody in tight for Miami. DeCray under center. DeCray to Austin. First down. Dolphins down to the 28. A gain of 7 for A.J. Austin in his 3rd year out of Hawaii. First down at the Panther 28-yard line. Jimmy Jam with Evil Dead, Jackson Waldo here tonight. Thank you for being here on this Saturday. 1st and 10 from the 28, 3 to the near side. Austin in motion. DeCray looking. DeCray throws near side. Caught by Moore. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Russell Snow, the safety on the tackle. In his 3rd year out of Iowa. 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins at the Panther 28. Coming up on 3 minutes left now in the third quarter. 5 wide for the Dolphins. DeCray in the shotgun. DeCray looking, throws, caught across the middle by Otto Stowe. And Stowe all the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 18. First down, Miami. Otto Stowe in his 11th year out of BYU. Tackle made by Levi Myers, the 5th-year safety out of Hawaii. Come on, just do great games? Is that what you're trying to say? First and goal from the 10-yard line, 4 wide. DeCray in the shotgun. Helm in motion, the tight end. DeCray looking, throws to Austin, and A.J. Austin gets outside and gets down to the 6. A gain of 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. On the tackle, Tucker Smith, 9th-year safety out of Arkansas. 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. 4 wide for Miami. DeCray under center. DeCray looks to the end zone. Throws and caught by Helm. Touchdown, Miami. What a great catch in the back of the end zone by Gunnar Helm, the tight end, in his 2nd year out of Texas. A 6-yard touchdown catch. Watch this catch. Wow, what a group of people that was there. But he had several receivers in the same area, which is never good. But Helm ended up catching it. And the Dolphins go up 20-7. Somehow Miami made that work. And now Dan Bailey will come on for the extra point. Bailey for the PAT. Kick is up. And it's good. Dolphins lead it 21-7. 1:47 left to play here in the third quarter. I got you, Waldo. You're talking in that code again. Live from Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina, Week 17 here at Jammin' Sports. Dolphins go at 21-7. Miami tried to finish the regular season at 14-2. There's the kick from the 5-yard line. On the return, this is Bruce Hammond. And Hammond around the outside. Hammond, a great return. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Wow. Hammond nearly broke it. The 4th-year receiver out of Montana. He returns the kickoff 58 yards to the Dolphin 42-yard line. Some highlights, George getting sacked. And George getting sacked. These lowlights brought to you by Bud Light, the queen of beers. Carolina down by 2 touchdowns. A nice return. They have it at the Dolphin 42-yard line. Let's see if they can get back in this game. on 1st and 10. Grace is in there talking to somebody. She's laughing. I don't know who. 1st and 10. They hand off to Holt. And Holt to the 39-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. I call it the queen of beers. It's kind of implied. The queen of beer instead of the king, the queen of beer. Get it? 3 to the far side. George in the shotgun, 2nd and 7. George looking. George gets sacked for the 6th time. Stephon Kilgore once again in his 9th year out of Auburn. A loss of 7 bring up 3rd and 14 for the Panthers. Back at the 46-yard line. The Dolphins have sacked him 6 times. I think they've sacked him more than he has completions. 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. She's talking to Stud. 3rd and 14. George in the shotgun. George looking. George in trouble. George is going to take off, and he's not going to get the first down. He only picks up 6 to the 41-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Well, the Panthers are down by 14 with about 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if they go for it here. They're going to punt. All right, Derek White back to punt as the Dolphin defense gets another stop. Gets the punt away, aiming for the sideline, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Dolphins will take over. They can make it a 3-score game now. Austin DeCray, some highlights. That was the touchdown to Nayor, and that was the touchdown to Moore. Dolphins up 21-7. 20 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see what the Dolphins can do on this drive. Panthers, they need a stop in the worst way. 4 wide. DeCray in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Stowe in motion. DeCray hands off to Austin. And A.J. Austin to the 16, a gain of 2. Tackle made that time by Evan Greer, the 11th-year linebacker out of Oregon State. And that may do it for the 3rd quarter as the clock is winding down at the end of 3. Miami up 21-7 here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. We start the 4th quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Dolphins at their own 16. DeCray in the shotgun. Austin in motion. DeCray throws to Austin. A screen. A flag is down. All sorts of stuff going on. It's a loss of yardage. Roughing the passer. Oh, yeah. I'm watching the replay now. He took 3 steps before nailing DeCray. I'm looking at the replay on my laptop. I got 2 laptops to monitor with. One is about an 8-second delay. The other is about a 15-second delay. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. DeCray in the shotgun. Throws out to Austin. Turns upfield. And Austin to the 35. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Stud's in the house. Good to see you, Stud. This is our 2nd game of 5 tonight. The Eagles beat the Cowboys 13-10. The Cowboys are out of the playoffs. We have the Broncos and the Buccaneers up next. On 2nd and 6, 4 wide. DeCray to Austin. And A.J. Austin breaking tackles. Gets out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 2. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Dolphins up by 2 touchdowns. With 7 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Stud checking in from beautiful Austin, Texas. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. DeCray in the shotgun. Flowers in motion. DeCray throws, and it's knocked down. He tried to hit it, or tried to get it to Flowers. And Donovan Elliott, the linebacker, knocks it away. It'll be 4th down. Miami will have to punt. It'll be 4th and 4. There's still life for Carolina here, as John Ryan will punt for the Dolphins. Ryan gets the punt away. From the 16-yard line, John Cunningham brings it out to the 20. And that's where Carolina will have it, 1st and 10. We have Denver at Tampa Bay next, and that'll be followed by Cincinnati at Indianapolis, and that'll be followed by Detroit at Minnesota. Got 3 more games here tonight. .642 left to play in this one. Panthers come out. George in the shotgun, 1st and 10. George drops back, throws across the middle. Caught by John Quick. He fumbles, and Hunter Brookings picks it up and brings it back to the 15-yard line. John Quick, the rookie out of Georgia, made the catch, but then he coughed it up, and the Dolphins defense is right there. Oh, he made about 4 or 5 steps, and he was absolutely nailed by Dean Tarrant, the linebacker, and Hunter Brookings picks it up. And now Miami, they can make it a 3-score game with any type of score here. Some highlights: Nayor, the touchdown. That was 40 yards out. And that was Nate Moore. That was like 6 yards out, I think. Miami up 21-7. And now a chance to go up by 3 scores. They're already in field goal range. Any type of score puts them up by 3 possessions. 6:35 left. Let's see if they can capitalize off the fumble recovery. They have it at the Panther 15-yard line. 4 wide. Actually, everybody in tight. Ducray under center. Ducray to Austin. Up the middle, and Austin to the 12-yard line. A gain of 3. And that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Tackle made by Wade Sullivan, the 5th-year linebacker out of Michigan. Dolphins taking their time. They want to eat up some clock here. 6:14 and counting. 4 wide. Ducray under center. Ducray looking, throws, and caught by Nate Moore out to the 6-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 6-yard line. 5:55 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Dolphins up by 14. 5 wide. Ducray in the shotgun. 3rd and 1. Ducray looking, throws outside, and Flowers can't hold on. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. So Miami will kick a field goal. The field goal will put them up by 17, make it a 3-score game. Dan Bailey will come on. Well, they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Okay, in the I formation. Ducray under center. Ducray to the up back, and they get the 1st down. That's Chase Williams, the rookie out of Utah. The fullback gains 3 yards to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Miami. Now they keep the play clock going now. 5:25 and counting. Ducray in the shotgun, 1st and goal from the 3. Single back. Ducray hands off to Austin. Austin to the 1-yard line. A gain of 2 yards before being tackled by Levi Myers, the safety. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Coming up on 5 minutes left to play in regulation. Everybody in tight. Ducray under center. 2nd and goal. Nayor in motion. Ducray hands off to Austin. Kind of dancing around. No, he got in. They said he got in. They said he broke the plane. I didn't see it, but they said he did. A 1-yard touchdown run by A.J. Austin. I don't think he got in. If I'm Carolina, I'm going to review that. There it is. I don't think he got in.
Previous play is under review.
It's going to be marked at about the half-yard line, I think. Yeah, he didn't get in. Even from the original angle, he didn't get in. Bob Sullivan on the tackle. Or Wade Sullivan, excuse me. the linebacker. Yeah, it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
And the clock keeps moving. 4:37 and counting. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Dolphins at the 1-yard line. In the I formation, Ducray under center. Ducray to Austin. Now that one's good. A 1-yard touchdown run by A.J. Austin. And the Dolphins go up 27-7. A 3-touchdown, 3-possession lead for the Dolphins. It looks like Miami's going to be 14-2 at the end of the regular season, and the Panthers are going to finish at 4-12. Unless the Panthers pull off a miracle like that's never been seen before in the annals of sim season. You never know. The extra point by Dan Bailey is up and good. The Dolphins lead by 21, 28-7. Yeah, now it's the blowout that we expected it to be. The Panthers were hanging with the Dolphins early, though. Ziffin, a grand total of 1. I kind of got busy. I had to go with Misty to pick up a couch, so I didn't have all the time in the world to do all the painting I wanted to do. And now the kickoff by Bailey from the 4-yard line. On the return, this is Bruce Hammond, and Hammond brings it out to the 27-yard line. 4:19 left. Carolina down by 21. No, I was saying I went and picked up a couch with you earlier. Yeah. You picked up a couch. Actually, I picked it up. She watched. $4:19 left in the Panthers season. George in the shotgun. George looking, throws, and caught by John Cunningham out to the 32, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. We have Denver at Tampa Bay up next. The Bucs have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Denver has the worst record in the league. They're out of the playoffs, but the Bucs, if they can win, they stay alive in the playoff picture. On 2nd and 5, 4 wide. George throws outside to Holt. And Holt out to the 30-yard line. Actually, loss of 3. Tackle made by number 30 for the Dolphins. That's Knox Campbell, the rookie out of Kentucky, the safety. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. At their own 30-yard line. 4 wide. George looking, throws downfield, and he overthrows everybody. But a flag is down. Pass interference on Miami. Wow. On Brad Lincoln. Maybe they feel sorry for the Panthers. I don't know. 1st and 10, Carolina at their own 38. 3:27 left. 4 wide. George in the gun. George looking. It's a blitz. And he has to throw it away. And that'll stop the clock with 3:25 left. They brought a corner blitz. Hunter Brookings nearly got a sack. 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. 4 wide. George in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Now they shift. Still going to be 4 wide, but 3 to the far side. George in the shotgun. And now that's Moore in motion, the tight end. George looking. George is going to be sacked for the 7th time. Actually, the 8th time. Last time was, no, that's 7 times. A loss of 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 16. Sack made that time by Terry Douglas. And now 3rd and 16 for the Panthers at their own 32-yard line. 4 wide. George looking, throws deep downfield, picks up the first down to Jared Moore all the way out to the 42-yard line. 26 yards. First down, Panthers. Too little, too late. 2:40 and counting. 1st and 10 for the Dolphin 42-yard line. George throws underneath. Caught by J.T. Franklin. 3 yards out to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. Dean Tarrant on the tackle, the linebacker. Oh, yeah, we'll be at the strip club next Saturday at our regular time. Looking forward to it. On 2nd and 7, George to Holt. And Holt to the 40-yard line. Gain of a yard, if that much. It'll be 3rd and 7. Coming up to make the tackle is Knox Campbell, the safety. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning here at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Week 17, Miami up comfortably by 3 touchdowns, 28-7. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. George in the shotgun. George looking. Throws down the middle, and it's dropped. Jared Moore couldn't hold on. It'll be 4th down. You're down by 3 touchdowns. They'll probably go for it on 4th and 7. Yep, they're going for it. 4 wide, single back. George of the shotgun. Moore in motion. Takes the snap, looks downfield. Throws, and not sure who that was to. Incomplete. He threw it between 2 receivers. It'll be a turnover on downs. The Dolphins will take over with 1:55 left. And with Miami being up by 21, I don't think the Panthers will take a timeout. Miami will finish 14-2, and the Panthers will finish 4-12. Miami will have next week off. They'll have a first-round bye in the playoffs, and they'll play somebody in the divisional round. In the I formation, Ducre hands off to Austin. A yard out to the 41-yard line. Tackle made by O'Neal on the tackle there. That was Eric O'Neal on the tackle. 2nd and 9 from the 41-yard line. 1:15 left. Neither team taking a timeout. Ducre to Austin around the outside. And Austin to the 43-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 6. Now we're under a minute to play. Third and 6 from the 43. 4 wide. Ducre in the shotgun. Taking their time, running the clock down. Ducre to Stowe, end around, and Stowe out to the 45-yard line. A gain of just a yard. Griffey on the tackle for Carolina. Or Greer, Evan Greer. They don't have a Griffey. 4th and 5. John Ryan back to punt. This will be the final play of the game. And that's ball game. Your final score, Miami 28, Carolina 7. Thanks for watching here at Jammin' Sports. The Broncos and the Buccaneers are up next.